Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SBR contributor Jordan Sharp. Today we're looking at how those odds have been acting up for the game between the Broncos and the Chargers. How you doing today, Jordan?
Doing good, Dax. Thanks, man.
All right, man, no problem. And bookies have this one favorite, opened this one favoring the Broncos at -3.5. And it only moved to -4 now. Now, Broncos looked awful last week. Well, Peyton looked awful last week, and they barely got that win against the Bills, 17-24. As for the Chargers, their defense stepped up and gave a fight against the Patriots, 23-14. Broncos, 10-3 straight up, 6-7 against the spread. Chargers, 8-5 straight up, 6-7 against the spread. So I think that there's really no trust here on either side. I'm thinking that, Peyton's definitely going to want to correct the ship and make sure that he doesn't look as bad as he did last week. It was the first time in, 40 consecutive games or something like that he doesn't throw a touchdown, and instead he threw 2 picks and 173 yards. I don't know, man. I mean, the way that I saw the Chargers defense play against Tom Brady last week, I think that could be an indicator that they are hungry and they want to get into the playoffs. With the way that the Broncos have been playing, their defense has been great also. This kid, C.J. Anderson, he's running. He had 3 touchdowns last week, which was the savior of the Broncos, I guess. I don't know, man. I mean, what do you think about this game, and what about the line?
I really want to lay the points here with Denver, but I can't bring myself to do it. You're right. Peyton Manning had one of the worst games, I think, definitely since he's been a Bronco. Dating back in his entire career, it might be up there as well. And the Chargers defense, you're right, I think is starting to come along. And with that running game with Ryan Matthews healthy, they can do some really good things. And I think that the under could be a really good play this week, but for this game, just because San Diego's defense at home, playing well. Denver's offense really, I mean, if you look at the body of work that they've done over the last 3 or 4 weeks, they really haven't done anything to impress you. This is a very important game for the Chargers' playoff chances. Yep. So I think that, Denver, defense been pretty solid. Their offense hasn't been great. But, they've had moments over the last 3 or 4 weeks where they've looked good, on both sides of the ball. But they have not looked like a dominant football team, even though they have been winning. You mentioned it last week against Buffalo, barely kind of squeaked by in that game. They played Kansas City and looked pretty good. But Peyton Manning only threw for 179 yards, so there's always been something that has really kind of bothered you about the Broncos recently over the last month or so. Mm-hmm. And, it could all culminate into a potential to see San Diego, have a good game here. So I'm looking for maybe a little bit more of a defensive contest here. And I think the under is actually probably the best play of this game. What do you think about it at 50.5?
I think so, man. And I think it was our first Steelers and Falcons video that we covered that we kind of mentioned the Broncos in there some way about Peyton Manning not being 100%. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I mean, it definitely looks like it might be that he isn't 100% and that he is injured and, that neck might be nagging him a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking of 2 scenarios. He might be a little banged up and he might not be 100%, or they might be playing possum and they might just, want people to think that they're not, up to 100%. And that way, once they get to the playoffs, they just rip everybody's heads off. So, I mean, it's kind of that situation where you really don't know. Either way, every time I bet on the Broncos, they lose. So, they don't cover because it's not that they lose. It's just that they don't cover. So I'm the one that's getting screwed. But, it's the way that the Chargers have been playing also. And I really like what Phillip Rivers does. And you said it again with that running game that they have going right now. I think that they could potentially upset them, and especially if they want to make the playoffs. I don't know, man. I myself, I'd be on a limb here, but I definitely want to at least consider taking the Chargers in this case, and maybe look at that under, like you say. I mean, that does definitely look like the potential play in this case. I think
we've both come to the conclusion that teaser is probably the best way to go in this game. I'd say tease the Chargers to 10 and take the under at 56.5. And I think right there is one of the best teaser combinations you're going to get this week.
There you go, folks. Tease it up. Chargers and the over on that one. Under. I'm sorry. Anyways, man, yeah, Jordan, what was that?
Chargers in the under, yeah. Chargers in the under.
Chargers in the under on the tees. All right, Jordan, as always, man, a pleasure talking football with you, and let's do this again next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns. big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.